Right, are we ready now to go surprise Jake?
Let's do it,
with his voucher?
Let's do it.
I've got a surprise for you. I'd like to award you with Apprentice of the Month. Well
Thank you
done,
very
Jake.
much.
Well done.
Thank you.
And you've got a certificate and a voucher. Well done, Jake.
Thank you very much.
Hi there, my name's Jake Brown and I'm from Home and Castle Estate Agents. So how I got to where I was, I started off 2 years ago being a labourer, and I was doing that purely for the money because I was young, just wanted money, and it was a good way to get myself out there, get a job. After a year, I decided that wasn't for me and I started looking at estate agency. So then I was learning the background on how to build properties and I wanted to do more towards the selling of them. I suited more of an office job instead of a physical outgoing job. So then I came across obviously this estate agent because my dad was purchasing a property. So then I asked him if he could have a word with Tracy, who's now my director, and then she just asked me if I could pop in my CV. We'd just go from there. So about 2 weeks later, after I dropped my CV in, I had a phone call asking if I wanted to do a trial week. So then I did my trial week and then she wanted to take me on full time as an apprenticeship because she was so happy of how well I did. I did go to college for 4 weeks and I did not enjoy it at all. I was doing sports, I was also playing for a semi-professional football club, which I did not enjoy because we were playing like robots and I wasn't enjoying it. So then I decided the best way to get out of college was to get a full-time job and then I can try and find myself a career from there. I had to obviously become a lot more confident in everything that I was saying, be 100% sure that what I was saying was correct. So that was a massive difference that I had to quickly learn to get hold of obviously this job, otherwise I wouldn't be here now. And then I also needed to have a lot more self-esteem in myself, like push myself to work a lot harder, because if I wanted something to come I'd need to work for it. It was quite tough, so I didn't know who was who. Like now I know who certain landlords are, that they're more reputable than other ones, they got more properties than others, they got more of a portfolio, so they're a bit different to look after to certain landlords. So when I first started I didn't know the difference between who was who, and it's the same with tenants. Like now I've got tenants who come directly for me and nobody else in the office and they want to deal with me only, and I also have that with landlords as well now. How people are with me has changed a lot as well. Tracy did help me out a lot. Everything I was doing she was going through with me to make sure that it was correct. She was double checking things. Everyone in the office, especially Claire, she was helping me out. She was teaching me how to do my job basically, and that's where I've got to now from her teaching me and Tracy. So Claire was previously the lettings manager and all the time I was sat next to her going through everything with her, so I knew where I was going right and where I was going wrong. So I've just sort of learnt from my mistakes as well to get to where I am now. This age that I am now, I did not think that I'd be able to be an estate agent with a qualification at all. I thought I'd just be able to get a job in an estate agency and then just go from there really. Not end up with a qualification as well that can help me in the future, looking for like more bigger companies, like looking to go for bigger job roles, so I can just all go from there. Yes, I do think I made the right jump by not going to university, because it's helped me not get in debt, and it's also helped me then get a career underneath me as well at such a young age, which is so vital. If it wasn't for MiddletonMurray, I'm not too sure who we would have gone with, because it's a much better idea, because I can get an apprenticeship, I can get a qualification the same as I could get at college or university, and I can also earn at the same time and get experience, and I can also get to meet new people all the time, which is also great. Well, one of the good things about MiddletonMurray is I've got Lee comes to me every 8-9 weeks and I get one-to-one sessions with her for about 2 hours, which I find helps a lot more than if I was at college and in a class with 30 other students and we've got one teacher. Because if I got stuck on a question, they might just skip on from that, and then I don't know what's going on from there. And that could be the most vital bit of information that you need, and then you don't learn it. So that's the very positive side of having Lee from MiddletonMurray come to me to do one-on-one sessions. So the biggest challenge I had is obviously confidence with everything that I say, because I needed to make sure that whatever I said was 100% correct and I could not go back on my words, because in this industry, landlords, some of them don't know what they're going on about, so they look to you for advice, and you need to provide them with advice that is 100% correct, otherwise things could go massively wrong from there. So I felt that I needed to be extremely confident in everything that I say. I've really enjoyed the job. Everyone that I meet, like meeting new tenants all the time, landlords, that's what makes me want to come to work, to meet new people, to find people new houses that they can live in and make everyone happy. So I think that's what motivates me to come into work. It is sometimes scary when you can go on and you can control someone's living accommodation with the power that you've got, but it's also good to see that you've got such a big responsibility at such a young age, and there's people out there that can trust you and that are willing to help you out and get you on board to go on and make yourself a career and go from there. Best advice I would give to anybody, especially if they're looking for an apprenticeship, is do some research first on who you're going to be doing your apprenticeship with, find out if it's definitely worth what you want out at the end of it, and then just try your best at the whole point, because if you're not going to try your best, it's pointless doing it, because if you try your best, you'll get as much as you can out of your tutor and your apprenticeship company that are dealing with everything for you. They'll try their best to help you succeed. Hopefully in 2 years' time, be a lettings manager or hopefully run my own branch of estate agent. So if you've got any questions or any queries at all, you can always give me a call, send me an email. I've got my own business card, it's got all the information on there, it's got my email address and our contact number, so feel free to give me a call or send me an email.
So having had my first apprentice 2.5 years ago, unfortunately the company that was behind him didn't really support him. He had quite a lot of needs, special needs, and whilst I tried my hardest to support him, I needed some specialist help, but that just wasn't forthcoming with the company. I'm quite honest with you, what changed was I didn't exactly feel like going down that road again with an apprentice, and Jake was offered to me literally as somebody who was desperate to be an estate agent. So I offered him a week's work. Young Jake arrived, so smart, so determined, so efficient and so eager to please, that having spent the week with him, I realised I couldn't let him go. But I couldn't afford really at that point to take him on in a full capacity and take a risk, if you like, on other staff. He needed a lot of training. So I looked up for another apprentice scheme because I felt Jake deserved a chance. And I have to say I phoned 3 or 4 apprentice schemes, but MiddletonMurray were the only ones that responded in the correct way and offered me the assistance I needed. I think in some ways we're a bit like a family here. It's sort of like almost like the mum, the dad, the big brother, the big sister, the auntie, and we all help each other. I've always said to my staff, there's always an open door here, you can come in whenever you need to if you're not sure about anything. And I think also we tend to pick each other up straight away. So for Jake, I haven't had any issues with him really at all, other than he was quite direct on the telephone. He was asking lots of questions as if he was taking an exam rather than just having a nice conversation with someone. And bit by bit we've managed to explain to Jake that the more you talk to somebody, the more you learn about them. And that will make your job as an estate agent, lettings agent, a lot easier. And he's really embraced that. And I must say in the last month, he's just become so confident. It really has made a big difference. And I think also the training he's had from you guys has really helped him. I would say for Jake, he could quite easily be running the lettings department completely as the lettings manager, and that's my goal for him personally. He's already halfway there. His administration is really good. He needs to almost, if anything, we need to slow him down a little bit. He almost goes from A to Z, but we need to demonstrate that he's dealt with the middle bit as well. He has, but he just needs to be clear and just take a little bit more care and time. But other than that, I've got no issues with him at all. He's someone who's progressing every day. Something new surprises us. It's really good. Well, Jake's just excelled, so the answer is he's definitely freed up a lot of my time. He now prepares all the lettings agreements. I literally only have to check them just to make sure they're okay, so that's taken an awful lot of pressure off of me. He is also now dealing with some banking transactions. He's built trust with us and he's able to do that, and he's very competent at it. The bottom line is, if I don't need to come in the office, if I don't want to, I don't have to come in now. Jake is more than capable of running day-to-day duties in the lettings department, so it's taken a lot of pressure off me. Key to being motivated is to love what you do and ensure that you're getting the right training and you're supported by the people around you. And certainly in terms of apprenticeships these days, so many people have gone to uni, in my opinion, and the apprenticeship died. Suddenly I think the realisation that apprentices are so much more important. It gives you what you need, the skills you need within the field you want to operate in, and I think it's just really important to just keep focused on learning and being with the right people and getting the support. I think for me as an employer, I'm really glad that I decided to try again, if you like, with an apprentice. It was very important to me as a person and as a business owner to train someone, and I actually feel in Jake I've potentially got that one person that could take over the company as I get older and want to really take a back seat. So watch this space.